All right, let's dive into one of your body's most amazing and, hidden systems. Its own personal waste management. It's this complex process that keeps you clean and healthy from the inside out.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? Every single second of every day, your body is working incredibly hard. And just like any busy workshop, it makes a mess. So, where does all that stuff go?
Okay, here's a really great way to picture it. Think of your body as a super efficient, nonstop factory. It's constantly bringing in materials, processing them, and then shipping out products. And the comparison is pretty direct, actually. A factory takes in raw materials, right? It turns them into products, and along the way, it definitely creates some waste. Well, your body does pretty much the exact same thing. It takes in food, that's the raw material, to create energy, which is the product. And yeah, that whole process inevitably creates some waste. So where does this waste actually come from? Well, it's a byproduct of all the things that keep you alive, all those chemical reactions that we lump together and call metabolism. Yeah, metabolism isn't just one thing. It's the grand total of every single chemical reaction happening inside of you at this very moment. It's kind of like the factory's entire production line, from breaking stuff down to building new things up. And that production line really has two main jobs. First, you've got anabolism. That's the building up phase. Think about when you eat protein and your body uses it to build new muscle. That's anabolism. And then there's catabolism, which is the breaking down phase. That's when your body takes large molecules and breaks them apart to release the energy it needs to, well, do everything. Now here's the key thing to remember. Whether your body is building up or breaking down, neither of these processes is perfectly efficient. They both create leftovers, byproducts, that your body just doesn't need. And in a lot of cases, it's stuff your body really can't afford to keep hanging around. So what kind of waste are we talking about here? Well, it's things you've probably heard of, like carbon dioxide, which you breathe out. There's also excess water and salts, and other compounds, like urea and uric acid. But among all of these, there's one that's a real problem child: ammonia. It is super toxic, your body knows this, and it has to deal with it, and fast. This is a huge reason why our internal waste management system is so critical. So that leads to the next question. Why is getting rid of this stuff so important? What's the big deal if it sticks around for a little while? Well, let's think about it. Just imagine our factory again, but this time, the trash just keeps piling up on the floor. It wouldn't take very long for the whole operation to just grind to a halt, right? In our bodies, the consequences are way more serious. A buildup of these wastes can literally poison our cells. It throws off the body's delicate internal balance, and once that happens, you can start to see some real damage to our vital organs. And by the way, this is a big reason you're always told to drink water. It helps your body flush all these toxins out. And this whole vital cleanup process, it has a name, of course. It's called excretion. It's simply the process of separating all this harmful metabolic junk from the good stuff and then getting it out of your body. So who are the stars of this cleanup crew? Well, your body has a whole team of specialized organs, and each one has a very specific job when it comes to handling waste. Your lungs, for instance, are the experts at getting rid of waste in gas form. We're talking mainly about the carbon dioxide that you breathe out. And then you've got the kidneys. These are the master filters. They remove things like urea, plus extra salts and water, and turn it all into urine. So this all brings up a really practical question. How do we know if our factory's cleanup crew is actually doing its job? How can we check on its performance? Well, the answer is in some really common medical tests. That's right. When you get blood or urine tests, they're basically quality control reports for your body's factory. They measure the levels of all sorts of things, including these waste products, just to make sure everything's in balance. So, take a look at this sample blood report. You can see things like urea and creatinine listed. See that column that says range? Well, doctors compare your result to that normal range. If the levels of these waste products are too high in your blood, it might be a sign that they're not being filtered out like they should be. Okay, now let's flip over to the urine report. This tells us what the body is successfully kicking out. And look, you see some of the same substances, right? Urea and uric acid. Generally, seeing high levels here is a good thing. It means your system is working and getting rid of the trash. So really, it all comes down to balance. If the levels are off, too high in the blood or maybe too low in the urine, it can be a red flag for doctors that one of your waste management organs might be struggling a bit and needs some help. All right, so let's just pause and think about what we've covered. Wastes are made in our cells as part of metabolism. They get transported around the body by our blood, and then specific organs like the lungs and kidneys grab them and show them the door. But how? How do the kidneys actually pull this off? How do they filter out all the bad stuff while making sure to keep all the good stuff? To get those answers, we're going to have to zoom in, way in. We are going to take a really deep dive into the human excretory system, its structure, and all of its amazing functions in our very next explainer. I'll see you then.